Victoria is locking down for 7 days. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Well, looks like the video I just did a few moments ago has aged very badly. Those predictions from the media of a 3-day lockdown have been proven incorrect, and it looks like Victoria is heading into a 7-day lockdown, just like the New South Wales, Newcastle and Hunter region as well. It just seems to be all, the vogue, the strategy. Let's look at this media release. Due to the COVID-19 cases reported in the last 24 hours, suspected to be the highly infectious Delta variant, Victoria will enter a statewide lockdown for 7 days from 8 p.m. tonight, Thursday, the 5th of August. Now, what is concerning with this is that one would hope that once we reach a point where vaccination is at 80%, like part of ScoMo's path to freedom, it won't simply be focusing on case numbers. So, with suspected Delta cases infectious in the community, as well as a high number of associated close contacts and exposure sites, Victoria's Chief Health Officer has declared stay-at-home restrictions will be reintroduced. This means from 8 p.m. tonight, there are only 5 reasons to leave home: getting the food and supplies you need, exercising for up to 2 hours, care or caregiving, authorized work or education if you can't do it from home, or to get vaccinated at the nearest possible location. Shopping and exercise must be done within 5 kilometers of your home or the nearest location. Face masks will remain mandatory indoors, not at home. Isn't that nice? And outdoors, unless an exemption applies. This includes all workplaces and secondary schools. Private gatherings are not permitted except for an intimate partner or nominated person visits. Public gatherings are not permitted. Exercise is limited to 2 people. Childcare and early childhood care will remain open. Schools will close, with primary and secondary school students returning to remote learning, except for vulnerable children and the children of authorized workers who can learn on site. Where a parent or carer indicates that a student with a disability cannot learn from home due to vulnerability or family stress, the school must provide on-site learning for that student. This will apply to students enrolled in specialist schools and students with a disability enrolled in mainstream schools. Higher education students will also return to remote learning, except for learning programs allowed on the authorized premises and authorized workers list. With the Wangaratta wastewater detection and the potential that regional Victorians have been exposed to COVID-19 linked to the current outbreak, restrictions will apply statewide to keep regional Victoria safe. There are no changes to the current arrangements for border communities. 7 days, everyone. Not 3. Normally they leak something worse and then it seems better. They're anchoring wrong. They're doing their anchoring wrong. Their persuasion is wrong. Let's check out Twitter, guys. I know we all love Twitter. Let's see. Is it going to be I stand with Dan, or are people finally at the point where they're starting to get sick of all of this stuff? So what do we have here? We've got Scotty. This is lockdown 6, everyone. Scotty the Blame Shifter, Dan Andrews. Let's see. What are people saying here? Me. Everyone, right to go. Me. I'm fine. That's kind of sad. Just watching Dan Andrews now. F you guys in Victoria are lucky having... What? Really? There you go. An ad for Lads Bro. Lads. Dan Andrews. To be really frank, we don't have enough people who have been vaccinated, and therefore this is the only option available to us. There it is. Everyone, that's what they're going to keep playing. It's 2036. Dan Andrews walks wearily to the podium to announce the 69th lockdown. I turn over on my psych hospital bed to reach for my phone to type nice. It's a bit presumptuous to think they'll actually have psych hospital beds in the 2036. Remember, Mad Max was filmed in Melbourne, and it was a documentary or a prediction. Anyone supporting Dan Andrews still is ignorant, selfish, self-centered, and stupid. This isn't about politics. This is about incompetence and power. Or perhaps they're civil servants and haven't had any impact to this. There are no alternatives to lockdown. If you wait, it'll spread. This is now settled, and there's no debating this. Delta moves at lightning speed. We can't allow this to happen. A nagging reporter trying to argue with him on this. People are just fully supportive. What else do we have here? Dan Andrews stepping up to the mic to announce a fresh lockdown. Not quite. Dan Andrews is a joke. People have one job to do, and it's to vote this clown out and ship him back to China. Well, Mo, I think you're going to be a bit surprised. I bet you he'll get back in, guys. Remember, lockdowns win elections. I can't begin to tell you how disappointed I am that we're here doing this again. Now you know how we feel, Danny boy. Sydney outbreak has escaped, causing a hunter lockdown. 262 cases, plus others overnight, 5 deaths. Dan Andrews was right to recommend a ring of steel around Sydney. Gladys remains in denial. Sydney doesn't have the toughest restrictions. Does it matter? Melbourne's back in lockdown. Or Victoria's back in lockdown. You know, here we go. Out in force, lockdown 6 stuff. Well, it's not retreat. It's actually happening. Can we look at this with... We'll go to the latest. We'll go for the latest. The percentage of Victorians who trust Dan Andrews, 0. That's funny. I'll give that a heart. Dan Andrews getting emotional talking about requesting more vaccines from the feds last week for supermarket distribution centre workers. The request was denied. Replying to Sitch, why would I blame Dan Andrews for this outbreak? What WTF? Dan Andrews won't be Premier in 2036. Victoria will have a President and Prime Minister by then. Okay, I'm interested to understand where Dan Andrews has received information that Queensland and New South Wales has received extra Pfizer doses. Other than the 50,000 from ScoMo, what is he referencing? Anyway, there's a question there. Has 0 patients, slipping back into lockdown. Dan Andrews, I have to say I was a bit surprised to learn of all the extra Pfizer going to New South Wales. Well, there you go. Hey Dan, how about no lockdown? There's an alternative. Here we go. Let's click on Sack Dan Andrews. Let's see how that's going. And we'll click on the latest. 54 seconds ago. Yada, yada, yada. Hi Dan Andrews. About no lockdown. What's this? Trying to organise a rally tonight. I have to see if that happens. We'll have to see what the Victorian Police response will be. Everyone, that's the matter of concern. How is 2,000 a contribution? You get 8,000 a week, get the 6 of us and pay 2,000. Okay, so there's talk about significant financial contribution to businesses. I mean, this is the thing. This is destroying businesses. This is destroying lives. How long can we keep doing this? We've had 2 years, everyone. If you're not going to get people, if people won't decide not to vaccinate, you let it run, and then people will decide. Or they'll decide not to. There doesn't seem to be any stomach for that. No politician wants to do that. I mean, that would involve giving up the control, and they want to save people. Love how 6.5 million people are thrown into lockdown and stripped of their freedoms, jobs, and everything in between from case numbers I can count on my hands. Oh, yeah. Sack Dan Andrews. Everyone good for Dan to go. Sack Dan. Well, guy, this is the thing. Afghanistan. I think I prefer Afghanistan. Here's the thing. I'm going to steal this. I'll put that on the Discord for the memes. But I'm not giving him a like for that. Here's the thing, everyone. They voted him in. They voted him back in. Okay? You get what you vote for. And Victorians voted in Labor Premier. Voted in the Labor Party. Even the Libertarian helped bring this in. They extended the emergency lockdown, emergency requirements again and again and again. Who's the opposition? Probably the Libertarians in the upper house in New South Wales. At least they have in Victoria. At least they have an upper house down there. We don't even have that here in Queensland. You can tell from the look in Andrew's face, he is totally clueless and just loves to impose his ignorance on the Victorian public. I think he's lost hope. He doesn't know. There's nothing else they can do from a political perspective. This is all they know. They're not willing to take the risk with potentially costing people lives. They're too scared. What do you think, everyone? And the problem that fear is going to drive, and that safety culture mentality here in Australia, is just going to drive a continuation of this. Dan Andrews is the hero of the Australian left. And with that, take care, guys. What's the solutions? Well, make your opinion known at the ballot box. Make your opinion known to your political representatives. Vote with intent, not out of habit. Because otherwise you're going to get the same thing again. We had very little choice here in Queensland. And the politicians have now learned they won't be punished for lockdowns. If anything, they'll be rewarded. What do you reckon? Remember, guys, the majority supports them. They support these lockdowns. We've seen it in polls. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I feel sorry for the Victorians that you're going through this a week. Hopefully it's only a week. Hopefully it's only a week. If you're a fan of the channel, you can support us through a number of ways. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon, sign up for SelfWealth or Stake, use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve or AussieBroadband, buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.